Hello, family. How are you tonight? It's late. It's almost 10 o'clock Eastern. My West Coast people are going to be loving this. I almost was going to say this is going to be short and sweet, but then I always say that, and then I'm on for an hour. So we're not going to say that. We're just going to let it be that for the first time in a very long time. Hi, Amanda. How are you? So if you're new to me, Mandy Perry here. I know there's been a whole lot of new people coming in, saying hi, popping on. If you haven't connected with me on a Facebook Live just yet, make sure you let me know below. Let me know where you're at in the world. Hello, Victoria. How are you? Okay, so this was the message tonight. So if you've been tracking with me at all in my company or in the journey over the last, let's say, 2 months, you've seen that I've been getting my mother-loving ass kicked. It is what it is. I hit an edge of myself and got really messy and got my ass kicked. And it's totally fine, because in 10 years when I look back, I'm going to be really glad that I reached that edge and then learned how to navigate it differently the next time I reach an edge that feels like that. So, hi Jillian, how are you? So, yeah, that's been happening. And tonight I was thinking about how it never matters. And I realized, I don't know that people know that it doesn't matter if I make a decision that creates a storm, or if a storm just happens, or if you just get your ass kicked, or if you got off track, or if you procrastinated on making a decision and that caused some ruckus in your life, or if you got in a relationship that caused some drama and that got you off track, or if you learned something that blew your mind and then you were having trouble calibrating to that because what you were aware of and what your reality was weren't congruent just yet. Or maybe you learned a whole new way to run your company or to scale it to the next level, and it's really, destabilizing, or maybe you got really sick, or maybe there was a death in the family, or maybe there was 700 million other things, right? So I think what most people don't recognize is when you are, what's considered a thought leader online. I've learned that's actually what I call myself now, is a thought leader online. I used to say writer, I used to say business coach, and now I just realized the honest term, if I'm being really honest about what it is a public figure or a thought leader online. And I've learned to just own that that's the actual term for it. But using social media to create impact on the planet, I see this mass acceptance of your life needing to be perfect, or at least perfect enough that you can pretend it's perfect, or at least perfect enough that you can have a high vibration, or at least perfect enough that you can look good, or at least perfect enough that you can showcase some kind of result in order for you to leave an impact. And that's crazy, because if you actually believe that, you're going to procrastinate like a mother sucker. You are not actually going to bring out the best of you and bring forward the best of what you have to bring forward to leave the impact that you're called to leave, because you're always going to feel messy, and you're always going to feel like you're not quite good enough, and you're always going to feel like you don't look good enough, it doesn't look good enough, it isn't good enough, the results aren't big enough, whatever the thing is, whatever the thing that's not enough. It's always going to feel like that if you buy into this. So I cannot tell you how many times, when I had my $84,000 day, I was on the heels of having asked for a divorce, coming into that 8-week mark after that, and exploring who I was as a single woman, it was like, stepping out of, there's a movie, I don't know what it's called, but it's the one where the lady gets kidnapped and then she has a child and they both live in the house. Maybe it's called House or Room. It's called Room. Don't watch it. It's horribly sad. Anyway, it's like living in Room as that child, and then you step out and there's like this whole world and this whole planet out there. I was a different human being than I was 14 years before. And obviously it's a little bit different when you're single again, and it just was this whole huge world out there of learning who is Mandy at this point in life moving out here. And I was so distracted by so many things, yet had an $84,000 day. There doesn't have to be there is no measurement point for how things need to look, or how good it needs to be, or how whatever the thing needs to be, because all we have to do is actually be willing to surrender to what actually is and recognize the value of what we have today. And I have a shortcut that I use to do this. I'm like looking back over my company, I'm like, yeah, there's never been a time when I was getting my ass kicked or I screwed something up or I got super distracted by something or I was naive about something and someone took advantage of me or whatever the things that have happened that have stopped me from being able to create space for people to calibrate to. And here's why, right? There is who we are today, and somebody on the planet, including you 5 years ago or 10 years ago, would kill to be where you're at right now. How many people would kill to have a global company, that generates $500,000 consistently, that you get to teach anything that you want to, completely be yourself. You can show up with makeup, without makeup. You can show up in your sweatpants. You can show up however you want. You show up in your pajamas when you run your trainings. You can have a drink on your trainings. You can run them from the pool. You can run them from anywhere on the planet that you want to. You can create anything that you want to create for the next thing. You can create whatever schedule that you want to. Take care of your kids. Take care of your family. Run live events and hug people in person. Get to know your tribe. Have running jokes with people. I mean, people would kill to have that. Yet, I could easily just focus on like, oh, you screwed up. You made a mistake. Like, how did you not, like, how were you so naive that this happened? Or whatever the other things are that we would be tempted to do in the moment. Only then if I was thinking that was the standard that I had to have not made this mistake, or I have to not be getting my ass kicked, or I'm not allowed to get sick, or I have to look better, I have to be better, my graphics have to be better, I have to have this fancy brand, whatever all this stuff is. If I actually believed that, then I wouldn't be creating the thing that I just spent the day creating today that I'm so excited to create based on where I'm taking myself. And this is something I've done consistently for years in my company. When I created Client Overflow, it was because I literally became unavailable for not having an overflow of clients. Like, okay, this is the energy I'm locking into. Whenever I put something on my focus, that thing blows up, right? Wherever your focus goes, wherever your attention goes, your energy flows, something like that. But anyway, when I put my focus on something, that thing thrives. So I created Client Overflow because I was ready to have that be the thing that thrived. When I created Relentless, it was an energy of like, okay, relentlessly going back to the things that mattered. Stop being drawn off by shiny pennies, like coming back to it, making sure I'm soul connected, making sure that my priorities are in order. I'm being the most excellent, phenomenal mother that I could possibly be, having a vision of what that looks like in my life, serving my clients really powerfully, and just relentlessly coming back to faith and trusting the process and connecting to soul and not being drawn off by other things that make us feel like we have to do that or we should do that. So as I'm stepping into digital revolution, I've just been sort of keeping in my awareness, the clients in this program are going to be creating a digital program. They're going to be learning how to sell on every single platform on social media in a way that's so easy. And they're going to be I'm going to be removing all the excuses. No tech problems. No, I don't know where to sell on what. I don't want to be slimy when I sell. I'm going to teach them how to sell in a really heart-centered way, how to give tons of value when you're selling. And so like, I've just been holding in my energy what it is that they're going to come up against in this program, right? Like, so what's the thing that's going to stop them? And one of the first things that came up was, this doesn't even need to wait till we're in the program. We need to be actually being aware of this now, that there is a cultural expectation that you have to prove that you're worthy of something before you can do it. And I'm saying that is not a helpful perspective, and whoever created that standard can be dismissed now. Because what's really true is, as long as you're staying in integrity and alignment with what's really honestly true for you, as you are calling yourself to that next level, and as you are putting something in your laser focus, as you are living in a state of gratitude because you're so grateful for the work that you've done in this arena. I don't care if you're getting your ass kicked because you're going to that next level. You've already scaled 3, 4, 5 levels in this one thing. And all those people that are still at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that particular area that are trying to scale to the next level are looking for someone like you to be able to support them in doing that, to calibrate to that energy and that level and that wisdom that you have. And the best part of it, which is why I designed my business like this 4 years ago, right? The best part of this is that you don't have to have split focus all the time, right? I'll get into this way more in the digital revolution, but for now, just understand, if we're designing a company that is based off of the skills that we want to learn as a human being and is based off of what we actually want to focus to scale in our own life. We get to create a container for people to calibrate to the levels we've already gone through and done, and we just get to scale to that next level. That's like a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. That is the complete opposite of, hey, you need to wait until you arrive at some said set point where now you can compare, like now you are looking like you can compare yourself to all the other people who have arrived there. Only those people may or may not be there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we actually comparing ourselves to? A graphic online? I'm going to base my life and my purpose and my service of other people from a graphic online or for some words online? Nope. Completely unavailable. Completely unavailable. Hi, Macy. How are you? Oh my God, that old version of me would kill to be me today, right? I cried today when I was thinking about the me 10 years ago. I realized today that exactly 10 years ago was the hardest year of my life by a landslide. It almost killed me. And I really mean it actually almost killed me. I mean, like I was physically in ICU. It was the hardest year of my life. And today I was just thinking back to her. And I just, God, how beautiful and incredible and powerful and relentless and unbelievable. And how us in 10 years is going to look back at us here and see how brave we were just to be willing to say, hey, you know, this is how I think. This is how I honestly think of it. When it comes to feeling unworthy to serve other people or to create something for people to calibrate to launch your online programs, to use social media for impact, and to have it be in integrity and be really honest and open and raw and unfiltered and never having to be something different than what you are, never having to pretend to know something you don't know, and being able to believe in your worth and receiving for that, right? How I really think of it is this. It would be like an old lady is in a wheelchair and she's really struggling. You can see her fingers are in pain and she's trying to move the chair, and she kind of looks over at you like, can you help her? And you're like, I'm not worthy to push your chair. Sorry. What the hell would that be? That is what people are doing constantly when it comes to running their online company. So I realized I was at Business Mastery, and we were needing to define what it is that we specialize in. And it was so easy for me to say in that moment because nobody had ever asked me that specific question the way it was asked. And I realized I help people to leave an impact and to make money right now on social media while they're looking to go to where they're going. I utilize the small audience or the doesn't matter, all the pieces and excuses that people don't use. I actually teach them how to utilize that to maximize their benefits and their impact and their rewards and their efforts right now before they get all fancy and scale to that next level. And I was like, that's what I'm a genius at. I'm the queen of easy, and I know how to I can take any human being. I do it on airplanes. I do it everywhere. And I can listen to you for a minute. I can ask you questions. I can decipher what you'll be able to do, and I can teach you how to do it online in a really simple way, which is why I created the digital revolution, because I had so many family and friends and people that needed that. And I hadn't specifically created it that specific way to make it super easy and clear. This is how you blow up online. This is how you build engagement. I feel like I have a hair on my face. This is how you get engagement online. This is how you pump out your programs. This is the cycle. This is what it looks like. This is how it gets to be easy. This is how you recycle your stuff. It's so easy. And once you learn it, you can repeat it over and over and over. So that's how the program was born. And one of the things I realized was okay, the digital revolution is teaching you how. By the way, if you're interested, it's mandyperry.com/revolution. We've begun prep week. This week, we're starting week 1 or module 1. So one of the things I realized was, okay, I'm teaching everyone how to do it in this program, and I'm completely aware of all the buts that are going to come up. So what I'm aware of is this, and I'll be honest with you about it. I'm going to remove all of the problems you've had on how and why you can't make money online and make this easy. I'm going to remove all those problems. You're going to be left standing there naked with yourself. So we're going to do a lot of support around that as well, because it's going to be the fear of failure. It's going to be the fear of people criticizing you or asking you who the hell you think you are. It's going to be the fear of, but if I really let them see where I'm actually at, that I'm not going to draw in the level of clients that I want to pull in. Yes, you will. And I'm going to teach you that in there. If I don't include everybody in my offer, then I'm not going to get any clients, or I'm going to push away the clients that could have possibly been clients, so I can't be specific with my offer. If I do this offer, then that's going to be the niche that I'm stuck in. And what if I don't want to do that in 7 years? I mean, it's just endless. And these are the things that we're going to start removing. And then we're going to be left with, why have we allowed a standard that the society has somehow cultivated, that we have to be any different on any capacity than who and how we actually are and look, in order to bring value and serve other people right now and to receive incredible compensation for it? What happened? What is the belief structure behind that, where we're actually allowing that rule to be set for us and we just sort of slipped right into that? And what other shit are we allowing ourselves to just sort of slip into and take on? Rules from other people, judgments from other people, labels from other people. And are we clear who we want to be and what the vision is for our life and what the vision is for, how do we want it to look? What does wealth look like for us? What do you look like when you have this incredibly luxurious life? And how do you give back? And what's the impact that you want to leave? And what's the energy that you want to create your containers for? And do you give yourself permission to change as you grow? Because it would be incredibly suffocating to think that, all right, Mandy, I'm going to join Digital Revolution. I'm going to launch this program. I'm going to show up and learn how to do this impact on my social media platforms. I now understand how to sell everywhere. I know how to navigate the money conversations. I know how to launch my programs. I get it. And, well, I'm not really sure who I want to be. And I have to know that right now, because if I don't know that, then I'm going to be stuck there forever. No. If you're going to grow rapidly and you're going to learn, trust me, on the other side of doing this kind of work, you're going to be a different human being. You have to be allowed to outgrow who you are. And you need to be allowed to test some stuff out and push the boundaries a little bit and try on, challenge some old beliefs that you have and challenge some standards that are set for you and challenge some rules that were put on you. And we have to dare to trailblaze and really set a new path and a standard for ourselves, because that's what leaders do. We set the standard. We don't buy into societal standards just because they're there, and we don't buy into a story like that's the only way to be successful in line, is to be like that person. See, these group of people that I tend to follow are all kind of this way, and that's the only way that I'll be able to be successful in line. If I don't do it like them, then I won't be successful. Only doing it like them makes me want to die on the inside. I want to die. Okay, great. What would it look like for you? Well, we're going to flesh a little bit of that out in the Digital Revolution, but I have another program that, if that resonates, that we'll dive deeper into next. But at least in the Digital Revolution, you are learning all of the hows, and you're removing the said excuses that make you feel like actually being a thought leader online, shifting people from inspired to actually taking action. So you're leaving an actual impact, right? So they're actually shifting out of the place where they're like, yes, I have a feeling when I have a connection with you online, I have a feeling about you, I feel inspired, but I'm not going to do anything about it, right? I'm not going to take that step forward. How do you actually get them to shift from that place of inspired to actually taking action? Now, that might not be with you, and that's okay, because it's not every time going to be with you. But our role as leaders is to inspire people to take action, not to feel feelings. That's great if you feel inspired. That's great if you feel lit up. That's great if you feel like, oh, this is like music to my ears. Great. I love that. I love that we're the same and we connect. And it all doesn't mean shit if you're not doing something with it. You can learn all you want, but if you're not implementing it, you're just going to get fried. And you're going to feel like, I have too many people telling me too many different things, and I don't know what to freaking do. And oh my God, I see 7 different ways that I could be successful, and I see 7 different ways that I could fail. Actually, I see 14 different ways that I could fail. And it's just going to start feeling completely overwhelming. And then you're going to start from that place. You're going to start, having the thoughts of like, oh, I don't understand. This is confusing. This is hard. And then you're going to have the feelings like it's hard. And then your behavior is going to be acting like it's hard. And then you're going to be repelling people instead of magnetizing people. And then you're going to be wondering what the hell's happening. But really, all that happened was you just started out with a shitty story that created a cascade of shitty things. And so in the Digital Revolution, we actually literally remove all of those probably the first 20 layers of the excuses people have as to why they cannot be a successful thought leader on the online platform, which is the most powerful platform on the planet. And we have to just acknowledge that, like, hey, it's actually important for you to understand how to use social media and to do it and to understand, like, hey, what are my choices on, like, what could this even look like for me? And so what I'm going to teach you in there is how to base how you design your company based on skills that you actually want to have, so that when you're doing all of that work, it doesn't feel like work, because it's what you want to do anyway, because it's who you are, right? So if you want to write books someday and you want to be a number one best-selling author, then we're going to do daily blogs, right? Because you want to start learning the writing skill. And I'm going to teach you guys sort of how to backtrack that way with your programs, with your social media, with how you design your business. All of those things we're going to cover. So that way we're going to take that whole big, chubby, fat top layer and we're going to remove it. Now, the other piece of who this is for, if you feel like you have, like if you have success online already, you have a platform, you have a following, that's great. I'm going to teach you how to take that to the next level, but I'm also going to teach you how to repurpose all of your stuff, and I'm going to teach you how to create programs that are deeply aligned with you so that they sell out, but that you can actually repurpose and reuse, which was one of my biggest pain points. So for some people that might be very easy, but I feel there's two different categories. There's the people that have all of this love and this wisdom and knowledge, and they're not actually launching programs. Like maybe they have one or two, or they have none, or they have ones that they don't love, that maybe they're doing a bunch of programs they feel like they should do because those will sell, but they're not ones that light you up. You're not like loving what you do. Or there's this group where you have programs, but it's very technical, it's very complicated, it's very fancy, and you're kind of drained. And you're like, how can I keep this up and sustain this? And I'm going to teach you how to make it very simple, and how to make it fun again, and how to make it flow and ease. And we only do what the business requires us to do, and then we go play. And you can always hire people to make it fancy later. Like I have a membership, but there was a reason we created a membership. I didn't just create a membership to look fancy. I created it because we needed that for the company to protect the IP, which I don't even think we needed. But anyway, it was recommended because there was so much content out there. They wanted me to protect my IP, so we put it in there. But in the digital revolution, I'm going to show you like how to create a membership without having to create an actual membership site. You're going to die when you see how simple it is. So tonight's course of action, tonight's action that I would like you to take, mandyperry.com/revolution. I don't know if I said that correct earlier. I've been saying digital revolution for so long. Let's hope I said it correct earlier. mandyperry.com/revolution. Or you can PM me if you'd like to join us. It's 7 weeks, and we're covering how to blow up on social media and utilize everything right now, including online programs. And then what I want you to walk away with tonight, if nothing else, is to challenge the societal standards that are being set for you that we kind of mindlessly just take on. And what does it actually mean, the story that we're not worthy? Like I'm not good enough yet, or I don't look good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or my program's not powerful enough, or I haven't learned enough, or I don't have enough certifications, or this isn't, this won't compare to these other fancy people, and the comparison game that we play. And think of the old lady in the chair just looking at you, right? There's like so many people out there who would really be supported by what you bring to the table if you were just willing to let it be what it is, and let yourself be what it is, and surrender, and don't be narcissistic is what I feel like. When I feel like I have to be something other than what I am, I feel like I'm being narcissistic. Like it's an illusion. It's delusional, right? We are what we are. We're at where we're at. We look how we look. It is what it is. And still we're ready to serve. You're here, and the time is now to serve. And I just think of that old lady, like, am I going to let these stories, and also the people ahead of me, right? The people ahead of me that I love and I admire. Like there was a moment when Brene Brown felt like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough yet. I'm not like, I don't look good enough. I don't feel good enough. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to people, and she did it anyway. She showed up and she served anyway. Thank God she didn't let that crap stop her. And then just being aware that a lot of that pressure comes from a societal standard in this industry. And I, for one, am unavailable for that standard. And I think it's a shitty standard. And I don't really understand it. I don't know why people like to tune into it. I don't know why the masses follow it. I get it. It does work, right? Like if I'm up here and you're down here and you're aspiring to be here, and I keep myself here away from you, there's going to be like a behind that, but that's not the sense I'm trying to create in my clients. I don't want my clients to feel like, oh, how do I get up to where Mandy is? I want my clients to feel like, hey, we're doing the same shit. I'm just doing it maybe for the 5th time and you're doing it for the 1st, or maybe I'm doing it for the 10th and you're doing it for the 5th, whatever. In this particular arena, my standard is a little bit higher than yours because I've done this a few rounds. but we're the same. There's nothing different. So if we're just allowed to be where we're at and you're willing to just show up and serve and let the cards fall and throw everything at it and give it the best of what you got, if you know you did your best and you showed up willing to serve, being who you were, creating the best of what you got to give right now, in 3 years, in 1 year, in 6 months, in 3 weeks, by the end of digital revolution, you're going to be at a whole new level of what you create and what you can bring to the table. And we just do that over and over and over. But it begins with beginning and challenging some shit that's going on out there, right? Okay, I know I missed a bunch of the comments. Hello back, John. Yes. Powerful, yes. Okay, that's the message that I had for today. If you have been wanting to learn how to use social media in a powerful way and be able to create containers for people to calibrate to, and if you desire to maximize your results right now while you learn to build the company and business, and you have a desire to make things really simple and easy and go back to the basics of the fundamentals of serve people, make lots of money. Let's exchange. I'm going to serve you and I'm going to make lots of money. That's the exchange. If you're looking to go back to that and make that the priority, digital revolution is for you. Okay, I love you guys. Have a fantastic night. I will see you mañana. Goodbye.